Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton, host of Invent America and also known as the Inventor Lady. Today we have with us Suzanne Cano, correct?
Yes,
Is the way you pronounce your name? All right, I've learned to ask and to apologize when I get it wrong. Suzanne was our guest on Invent America radio broadcast last week. But we like to add a video to this. So one, you guys can see her product, but we can get a little bit more in depth into our conversations so that possibly it helps you avoid mistakes and save some money. So Suzanne, thank you so much for being with us today. I am very grateful. Tell us a little bit about what you invented, and then we'll get into the topic that we had last week.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on your show. First of all, I'm very grateful. I'm originally from Chicago, and I now live in the Raleigh area. And 5 years ago, I started this device, which is a dental product for the dental industry. So the product is called LunaLite device. And basically, you guys are going to see it right here. So you strap it onto an X-ray head unit. And so basically for dental assistants or hygienists, when they're looking to take an X-ray, they're able to turn on the device itself on the side here. And they're going to look for a specific angle that they need in order for them to capture the proper dental X-ray. And so as they choose, like this one says maxillar and incisor. So we're looking at a positive 40 here. If you can't see the numbers, if they're jumping around, I'm sorry, but you can go to my website and see that. And so when the assistant starts to position the actual machine, it starts to locate the angle. And as soon as they locate the right angle, a laser appears on the patient's anatomy. This gives the assistant or the hygienist who's taking the X-ray the indication that they caught the angle and it's okay to take the shot. If for some reason they kind of move up more or even lower, or they're positioning it wrong, the angle is going to disappear. So it gives them like a safety net in order for them to take the X-ray and help them adjust the actual machine so that they don't miss the shot. Currently, what you're using in most dental offices is probably something you had in your mouth. This
Exactly.
is a regular, this is exhausting and painful on anyone's mouth. So basically what this is you have the sensor in here. And the purpose for this ring is so that the assistant can help align the X-ray machine. But this is, as we all know, this is all painful. So what I did was I captured the angles, programmed in here, and the laser is really just the guide. Like this is the guide. So without the pain or the unnecessary spending extra money on this, because these get destroyed in the autoclave, you might as well just get one of the LunaLites. But that's what the LunaLite was intended for. So 5 years ago, I developed this, and I went into production. And then, of course, I went into commercialization this year. So this is my first year of commercialization for the device.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So when we were talking about scoundrels on the program last week, your name was one of the first ones that that Chris gave me, and he said, "Oh my God, she's got a good story." So tell us, one, how you got involved with the scoundrel, how you managed to exit.
Yeah, so the first one I went to, and it was not just one, it was two. So the first one I went to, I was looking for people at development companies to help me develop this. So at first I went to a CAD designer, we drew it together. That was fine. The next step was to now speak to a mechanical and have a prototype made. So that was what I needed next. After all of the drawings were done, we needed a production now. And so I found someone that I thought to be legit, and I paid him up front. And so for months, I got just a few little pictures of what he was doing. He was really taking his sweet time on this development, where he said it would take like 3 months, right? And so in the contract, it indicated that, he would have this, in 3 months. And next thing you know, I'm not hearing from him anymore. So it's past 7 months. And there is crickets, nothing, not even pictures this time. It was just kind of like he left the scene. So what I did and how I got out of that was I called my credit card company and I explained to them what happened, because I put everything on a credit card. And so for months we battled, and for months I was so determined to win. I was like on the credit card. I was consistent every week. I was calling them, explaining to them, please tell him to show you guys proof that he sent me the device that he was supposed to bill for me. Well, he couldn't. So anyways, at the end, I was able to win my money back, and they red flagged him.
Good for you.
Yeah, that took weeks of dedication, of like literally working with my my credit card company to explain to them, like, this is, this is not fair. And so basically writing and whatnot, letting them know how the story played out. So that was the first one. Got my money back. A couple months later, I was determined to keep moving, and I found this other production company in my backyard in the Raleigh area. And they were very legit. They even worked with some big schools and whatnot. And we signed this contract, and I thought I would get a prototype out of this. And it turned out for 4 months, they wasted my time. Now, this one, I paid a lot more money. It was like triple what I paid the first guy. And I went into the, my partner and I at the time, we would go into the development, and every week we would have meetings about the development and how, what we saw it create, and how I needed to explain to them my experience in the industry for 27 years, for dental industry. And so we would have these meetings, and meeting after meeting, and nothing was really happening. It was just like conversations happening. And so 4 months later, that was it. They wanted like $250,000 for the prototype.
Wow.
What? I thought I was supposed to get a prototype. And so it was devastating. And all I got was quality assurance papers, the PDF files, but no prototype, no drawing of one. Nothing was developed. And it was just a bunch of bullshit. And honestly, it was really sad. And I went to an attorney, and my attorney said to me, look, we can fight them all day long. Well, here's the problem. You're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. He's like, go after your dream. You don't need to do this right now. Yeah. And I did. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right, because I'm going to waste more money, and my dream is going to be further and further away. Right. So I decided to let that go. And honestly, it was hard for me, because it was my last few dollars that I had for development. And it was a hard lesson to learn. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I've talked to other inventors, and, they'll tell me their story, and it's like, you can move on and let it go, or your life becomes the fight. Right. And it's very difficult. I mean, it's hard enough to get a product from mind to market. But when you have to fight these battles, and for a lot of, we say, when you start paying up front, attorneys are notorious for taking the retainer. I get it. All right. They certainly expect to be paid before something is submitted. I get it. But on these invention promotion companies, a lot of times when they are, 10,000 up front, 20,000 up front, and if people would just look at their ratings, they've got horrible ratings. Yeah. And so, being able to, if you can fight it with a credit card, that was excellent advice. Yes. So now you're in the marketplace, your product is being developed, and you're able to get orders. Yes, correct. Excellent. Good for you. Congratulations. Thank you. So if you've got any, links on social media that you want us to post, just go ahead and email them to me. And when we post the video here, we will go ahead and post so that people can find you. Yeah. And maybe go to their dentist and say, you need to get this other device.
That would be great. Yes, definitely.
So no problem. Just go ahead and send it to me. And thank you so much for telling your story, because there will be inventors who hear this. And even if you only help one other inventor, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So anyway, thank you so much.